Paper Mario is one of those games. Turn-based combat, menu selections, explicit stat counters. This system is common, old, and comparatively easy to implement. Good games do more than that, though. Paper Mario uses simple, easy-to-understand values to embolden players to strategize and to make a fun, happy, lighthearted tone. Let's take a look at the numbers.
Heart.
Points start at 10, increase by 5, and you'll end the game at maybe 50. Flower points start at 5, increase by 5, and will end game be about anywhere from 30 to 60. Badge points start at 3, increase by 3. You'll do whatever you want with them, dude. I've ended games with 36 badge points, and I've ended games with 84 badge points. Coins start at 100, increment by 1, and max out at 999. Damage starts at 1 for an action command failure, and 2 for a success. Guard reduces damage by 1. Super Guarding negates all damage and deals 1 to the enemy. Even though the level system is similar to other JRPGs, where more EXP is required to level up as one's level increases, experience itself is translated into a rounded percentage. You always require 100 star points to level up. Enemy hit points range from 1 to 200. Standard items heal 1, 5, 10, and 50. Burn and Poison deal 1 damage per turn. Freeze, Sleep, and Stop simply prevent movement altogether. Soft lowers defense, Shrink lowers attack, etc., etc. The numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 50, 100, 200, and 999. These numbers are very easy to understand. They are all multiples of 2, 3, or 5, which makes them quickly parsable. This design serves a few purposes. It intensifies combat by making every number count. Small differences in values have big implications on the tide of war. In most games, 1 damage is a sign of failure. 1 is normally a value so low that it is inconsequential. But here, 1 damage is extremely consequential, at least for a while, at least for most of the game. The strongest enemy in the 2 proper Paper Mario games has an HP value of just 200. Other JRPGs scoff at that number. Earthbound's Putrid Moldy Man exceeds 200 early on, and Final Fantasy VII starts the player with more health than that. 200 is not very high, but in Paper Mario, that many hit points is a monolithic amount. It allows players to strategize more, such as considering Thousand Year Door's crowd, special moves, positioning, and guarding strategies, minimizing damage by flipping Koopas, figuring out how to damage a spiked flying enemy, staying alive in a pre-Hooktail Pit of 100 Trials run. But most of all, the ease of access of the numbers strengthens the lighthearted, storybook tone of Paper Mario. It welcomes new players to the JRPG genre and to video games in general with its simplified system. For example, children, who are attracted to bright colors and that Mario guy they keep seeing everywhere. And I'm not saying that low numbers are best, because having complex values can have different and completely valid player responses. Speculation, but Final Fantasy games have higher and less rounded numbers in order to abstract the battle system and to keep players on their toes. This gives an impression of danger and the unknown. Players aren't supposed to know what's happening in explicit detail here, they're simply along for the ride. In-game combat is a representation of events without literally being what would happen in real life. That's the nature of fiction. Pokémon games have wildly varying statistics of all kinds in order to give every creature a sense of individuality. Without research, not many people are going to understand that a raw stat of 100 at level 50 is pretty okay, but people will be able to identify extreme values such as an Aggron's defense, a Cloyster's special defense, or a Chansey's max HP. Off has very large esoteric values which disorient players. Combined with the unwieldy menu navigation of combat, players are incentivized to simply use autofight and let the batter's purification progress. This emotional disconnection between the player and the combat feeds into the themes of the games. These games don't need the simplest numbers, because their systems serve a different purpose for a different story. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's good. It's good. It's video games. I like video games.